Montians. I'm Dave Rall with Pro Reps West, and I'm grateful to be here today. We appreciate the opportunity to get in front of you guys and talk dish machines. I have with me today Gino Ignacio, who is one of our corporate chefs. Hi, Gino. And Leah Miller, who is another one of our corporate chefs and also outside sales. And then Rod Smith from CMA is actually on the call with us as well. Rod, if you could pop in and say hi maybe, or... There we go. So our plan today, guys, this is kind of feedback that we've gotten. I've been able to do a few of these already with some of my other manufacturers, and I think the kind of feedback we get is that you guys really want a little bit more hands-on training. So this is the best that we can do right now, and that we can't have you to the actual factory. But I'm going to just give a brief overview. We are actually here at the CMA factory. And one of the wonderful things about CMA is that they have their own area set up where most of the machines that they manufacture are in this room and are operational. And so we can come and do trainings. You can bring customers in. We've actually had customers come in and bring product to actually wash to see the results. And it's right here in Garden Grove, California, which is very close to the Southern California office for Avante. So I want to just give you a brief overview, and Rod is going to be interjecting throughout this, and certainly if you guys have any questions as we go through this, by all means let us know. We're going to try to give you as much visual stimuli, I guess, if you will, as we can, and showing you how the machines operate and work and some of the unique features and things that CMA does. CMA has been manufacturing dish machines now since 1976, is that right, Rod?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and so they are now a part of the Alley Group, which I think you guys are familiar with. You have other brands, other significant brands that are in there, is brands like Champion, Amana, Scotsman. So it is a conglomerate of groups in which CMA is a part of. And they, when they got into business, their target market, I guess, was really working with the chemical dealers. And it is still a part of their business today, but when they designed and made their machines, they made it with the chemical dealer market in mind. And it's important that we understand that, because the chemical dealer market is really a rental market. And they're going in to meet with customers, and they're going to sell them on a package where that dish machine is going to be a part of that package. And that machine is going to be there and work for them as long as they continue to buy the chemicals from the chemical company. So for a chemical company, what they're looking for is a dish machine that's going to be very simple to use, very easy to work on, doesn't have a lot of problems or isn't problematic, and it's going to last a long time, because every time they have to buy a new machine, they're paying for that essentially. So that was kind of the thought process in CMA's mind, and they really, over the years, while they've made improvements to their machines, they've always kind of stuck with that same game plan in mind. And you'll get a feel for that today as we start to kind of go through the machines and talk about some of the specific things. Rod, was there anything that I missed on that I should bring up?
You know, Dave, I wanted to bring up, that when CMA started, and we have continued this thought process, is that we make electrical mechanical machines. So we don't use factory specific parts. Most of our parts are generic, high quality parts that a customer or a maintenance man can purchase locally. By using a electrical mechanical thought process, we eliminate the use of digital boards, microprocessors, things that break down under heat and under moisture, and that's the conditions that these machines are all put in. So our machines last a long time in the field. I had a request last night from an end user that they had funds available and they wanted to update their kitchen, and he asked me to look up his serial number. It was 25 years old and the machine was still running.
Wow.
And I think that's just a real testament of kind of what we hear all day long But when somebody actually says, yeah, I just want to replace it because I have money, it's working fine. And that's kind of our thought process with the electrical mechanical features that we use. And we'll talk about that through the machines today.
Well, maybe what we can do, Rod, is since we've brought that up, before we get into the under counter specifically, I want everybody to know first off that CMA makes a large range of machines, everything from under counters all the way up to conveyor machines. But I'm going to show you quickly the control board for our high temp ventless unit so that you can kind of get a feel for what Rod's talking about. So we're going to turn the camera and bear with us here. I don't know if you're able to maybe zoom in on that, Gino, if you could. But this is kind of an example, guys, of what Rod is referring to. As you can see, these are all electrical, mechanical parts. These are all, here's our kind of peristaltic pump system that's over here. This is what is in charge of kind of dispensing the chemicals into the machine. And that's pretty much standard on all of our machines that we do. The parts are consistent across the board. And this stuff is very easy to work on and very easy to find. It's not something that you have to wait weeks for to get a part, or weeks for to to source the part from someplace. And so this has always been something that's been very good for CMA. The downside, I guess, is it doesn't necessarily have all the new bells and whistles that you're used to, but it's extremely reliable and again, very easy to use. Anybody have any questions so far on anything we've covered?
I have a quick question. Is 25 years in the field typical for all of your dish machines?
You know, we